Hi, Dr. Eric Thomas, talking today about a condition that concerns women especially a great deal. That's gradual hair loss. Well, men obviously get it too, but we've kind of been brought up realizing that this is going to happen. Women feel that they will always keep their crowning glory. There are many causes for hair loss. So first of all, we want to make certain that there's nothing going on with an illness. So your family doctor might want to do a thyroid test, test for anemia, test for something called an autoimmune disorder. But if they're all normal, then you really should be looked at carefully by a dermatologist. There are certain conditions that can produce scarring that do not show up on those tests. There's one called discoid lupus, for example. There are certain infections. Once I had a woman with very severe psoriasis. Now that was fairly obvious, but we were able to control that using an excimer laser. It worked great, and lo and behold, her baby-thin doll-like hair became much thicker, which of course then made it harder to get the light where it needed to go. But overall, she was very happy. But let's assume it's none of those things, and that you just are born into a family where all the guys lose their hair fairly early, and things suddenly seem to thin out. What are you going to do about it? First of all, there is a product that's available over the counter which is worth talking about, called Rogaine. I do not think it actually grows hair, but it does tend to hold in hair that would otherwise be lost for a year or two or even 3. And during that period of time, things seem to stabilize or even get thicker. Unfortunately, it does eventually lose its effectiveness. Nevertheless, I'm sure you're looking into it or may look into it, so thought I had to mention it. Also, there's a pill, finasteride or Propecia, but that can produce breast tenderness, so it is really not used, certainly not in the U.S., I don't think anywhere in the world, to treat women because of that risk factor. And I want to give a shout out here to all the beauticians and cosmeticians of the world. In fact, I spoke to one recently about this very issue. They have some really neat tricks of the trade that can help an awful lot. And finally, I'd like to say that, and here's where I could get myself into trouble, I've been known to do that, but finally let me say that generally speaking, women have a very gradual, slow thinning of the hair as hormones change, and that hopefully it would not become cosmetically a concern ever or until a long, long time. So don't know that I've solved any issues today. I like to solve issues, but I do want to say how concerning this is. We are still research going on. Sometimes biopsies are done of the scalp, and if they are, instead of just going vertically, just up and down, they're often done horizontally so that the researcher can evaluate, and the pathologist, there's sometimes help there, can evaluate the hair not just from top to bottom, but from side to side, because they pick up a lot of things that way. So anyway, it is worth looking into. I'm sure you will if you're able to, because of the degree of concern, and just want to pass this information along to tell you that we're all rooting for you if your hair is thinning out. Dr. Thomas saying goodbye.